Right, we're back here to do it again. We're chilling at the Vera Project in Seattle. This is the only Northwest list made by the Northwest and for the Northwest, from Seattle to Portland to Olympia and back to Tacoma, and probably its most controversial out here. And definitely, this is Freshest in the Northwest, presented by Juice Radio. We're back for our second year by popular demand. Last year, we crowned Macklemore our #1 artist following a little bit of controversy, where we initially landed him #3 and moved him back up. This year, we have absolutely no idea what's going to go down, but our panel looks very different from last year, plus your votes all together. So let's go around the table. Let's all introduce yourselves.
My name's Lover J, from Olympia, the 25360 area, Olympia, Tacoma. Work with Chaos 89.3 FM, the Block Party, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5, hip hop all day during drive time. And I've been published, I guess I'm writing and editing for several different publications and magazines over my years of experience. I can be found at Twitter, just at LoverJ, LUVVAJ.
I'm Q Dot from Federal Way, rapper. I'm a producer and I'm a piano player. And I'm your local neighborhood BET Music Matters artist and Grammy nominee, here to just do what I do.
You also is an integral part here at Juice Radio as well.
I started this Juice Radio gangster shit. This is the motherfucking thanks I get. At I am Q Dot, QDOT.
I'm Max Smith with We Out Here magazine, also a freelance writer for the Oregonian. I'm a semi-retired struggle rapper and turned writer, blogger. I'm out here from Portland, Oregon, representing Northeast Portland, APM gang, Second Science, and you can catch me on Twitter or anything else at Max Smith, MACSMIFF.
All right.
Swerve One, represent Seattle. I DJ and promote shows, work with different venues across the city, even down in Portland as well. That's kind of really it, just kind of out there. You can find me at DJ SWERVEWON.
Mitch Pfeiffer, owner, Respect My Region, producer under the name Empire, DJ, wannabe entrepreneur. Reside in Ellensburg, Washington, used to live in Portland, Oregon for a while, up in Seattle all the time, so I got a good taste of the whole Northwest. Twitter is at MPYREP.
I'm Sermon. I run the sermonsdomain.com, probably one of the most respected blogs in the Northwest. Find me on Twitter at sermonsdomain.
And definitely chilling right here with the feet on the table. Also, Cool Nuts was a part of this panel. He hosts the Northwest Breakout Show on Wild 107 in Portland, the owner of Just Family Records and a widely respected MC at that. And also E-Dog, also a member, submitted a list. He's been out here in Seattle, worked a lot with Mix-a-Lot, and he's very in tune with what's going on with the Seattle scene. Also hosted a show on an AM station, definitely until recently, and he'll be starting his East Ways show as a television program pretty soon here. By the way, my name's Steve Money. I'm the program director of Juice, and I'll be your moderator for the night. My Twitter is at DMoneyJuice. Here's how it worked. All y'all voted, and our panel of 8 submitted top 15 lists of solo rappers based solely on the last 6 to 8 months and covering artists' impact in the community, lyrics, sales or downloads, both including albums, ticket sales, buzz on the streets, club, and radio play, as well as their style. Last year, obviously, Macklemore was our #1. He will be excluded from this year's list because he has obviously surpassed everybody. Almost platinum album, 2 multi-platinum singles, a sold-out world tour, and possibly one of the biggest artists in the world right now.
Macklemore and then 1 through 10.
Including, so we have designated him with #0 this year. Macklemore is #0. As well as some of our panel members are also rappers, obviously Q Dot, E-Dog, Cool Nuts. They have been excluded as well from making the list. As we move up the list, if the panel disagrees with any of the positions of anybody and they want to move up an artist or take another artist's spot, we'll vote on it. And if there's any ties, which we have 6 people here, 3 and 3, your fan votes will break the tie. And you can join in on the conversation on Twitter at Freshest in the NW. Let us know if we're screwing it up or if we're getting it right. Might be the former. But many artists deserve to make the list. This is only a top 10 list. The number 10 through number 12 were separated by only 0.2 of a point. So we are going to open it up with number 10 right here. Representing the Moore game, Thaddeus David.
Time, home really like to rap, I'd rather preach and rhyme.
I agree. I think Thaddeus definitely needs to be in the top 10. You see him, he put out a couple projects in the last year, and you see him rocking shows all the time. He's doing, Mob Deep, and you're actually, I'm watching the crowd, and they're responding to him. It's not like an opener where the crowd is just like dead. They're actually enjoying it, and, I think he deserves to be in the top 10 for sure.
I'm making an early prediction that Moore Gang is going to take up like 5 slots on this whole
5 slots out of the top 10?
The whole Moore Gang should be on the list because they've been killing it. But yeah, I agree. Thaddeus at 10 is a good look.
Thaddeus at 10. So it sounds like everybody agrees, even though this guy just beat 2 artists by just 0.2 of a point.
Who were the other 2?
So when these 2 names right here, you're going to be surprised right here.
Okay.
So, the 2 artists that just missed the list are Raz Simone.
If nothing moves slow, so we honor a few principles. Control how we interact, spitting in a limited language. If they listen, they think, and the sin lives.
Raz Simone and Immaculate. Let's start with Immaculate.
The one thing with Ilmac, being, I live in St. John's. Ilmac reps St. John's super hard. Ilmac has been doing a lot of work behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And, between putting out a project with Sand, people, helping everyone else kind of get on the last year or so, I think it's hurt his own,
agreed.
I can't tell you a single from Ilmac like that over the past 6 to 8 months.
Right.
Like, off top, I can't just say. I know he's had a few, but it's usually a collaboration work.
I think he dropped a project though. Kron Legacy. Raz? Don't agree with you?
Honestly, my first thought is they're kind of interchangeable.
Okay.
Because if you put the 2 side by side and you were to kind of like, compare them, they're fairly identical in terms of, the stuff that they've dropped, the moves that they've made, where they're at. You know what I mean? It's kind of like tomato, tomato. I don't know. I thought Raz would have actually been higher on the list, but
yeah. That's the big surprise right there. You got a guy like Raz, and he's had a huge year. He just missed.
At that point, it's kind of like, how does the moves that he made not impact his positioning? Because if you are to look at things like tours, looking back to last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but Macklemore didn't drop a project. He was number 1 based off of what everybody pretty much knew he was going to do.
Right.
Jay Pender was number 2, but he had dropped a project, and we looked at, not only did he drop a project, but he was on tour with Black Milk and Talib. I think Raz should be higher.
Yeah,
Definitely think Raz should be higher.
I would agree. I think I like Thaddeus' project a lot. I think he had like 3 or 4 videos off the project that all went pretty hard. But Raz had the collaborative EP with Sam, which was pretty cool, pretty, very pop music. And then he had a solo EP, and then they had videos for both of them. So, and they're touring the country. So I just think he's made more moves, and I think his numbers are a little bit stronger. I like them. They're different sounds, but they're both, original.
I definitely agree with that.
Are we ready to turn over Immaculate? Turn him out of the conversation?
He's different than a lot of other rappers because he's a bat. His
Right.
basics in battling.
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't chill on the radio and listen to battles, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right.
So it's different in that regard. I mean, he goes hard, he never loses. And the thing is, you can put him against anybody on the list, and like, let's just rap right now, and it's like, well, Mac will probably who's gonna get him. I mean, it's the way he is because he's that kind of rapper. But at the same time, talk about projects and touring. I mean, Ilmac just came back from Europe.
Yeah, definitely.
He
Which
just
is
got
a big
off
move
tour.
in itself.
He
That's
just-
there.
for his second year in a row.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So I mean, he did just come back from a 12-country tour, like last week.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like he's not working. You know what I mean? And I just saw him the other day at the Method Man show with the Surge Severe. He came out there and the crowd went bananas. I mean, it's just like, and he's 5'2".
He's definitely a very seasoned artist at that, so we might be definitely seeing it in the future and future living.
Well, let me say before he gets turned over,
All right.
just to speak on behalf of the Battle MC, I have to represent this idea here before we turn him over. At the Battle MC, sales do not define the quality of an MC.
Right.
So
I agree.
the commercial success is appreciated and respected from Macklemore on through the rest of the list, but to keep the Battle MC, the host MC, consider that as we go through this lineage of these top 10 here, just to consider the worthiness of the Battle MC.
Definitely.
Here's what I'm asking you, D. Is there any way that at this point we may be able to nick Thaddeus, put Immaculate at 10, and hold Raz Simone for maybe another debate?
So we're not ready. Let's do this. We're turning over one of these two right here, Immaculate or Raz Simone. If you are voting for Raz Simone, raise your hand right now.
It's so tough after hearing all the discussions.
So, are you the only one? Is Mesh the only one?
I was there for you, Raz.
I can't turn on my talent.
That's a tough one, man.
Immaculate versus Thaddeus David for number 10.
I need to hear some more argument in favor of Thaddeus.
I mean, we out here did a list a couple of weeks before XXL did an interesting similar list. X wants to go, and we had Thaddeus at the top of the list. And the reason is because you can see it. I'm not even in Seattle, but we see his run. We see that he's making moves. We see that he's doing shows. And I've seen him like at one of his first live shows a couple of years ago, and it was like he was doing it. He wasn't really great yet, but you could see where he was going. And now it's like he actually went ahead and did that. He did what I expected him to do, and I think he's still growing. Immaculate is on a different level because he's done so much. He's 27 years old, but he's been rapping for 10 years plus, and successfully. He's been across the world. He's been doing big tours.
I would say in the last 6 to 8 months, if we stick to the criteria, Immaculate had a better last 6 to 8 months than Thaddeus. And I like Thaddeus.
Yeah.
I say that really liking him. Like as a rapper, I probably like him more than Immaculate, but taking everything into consideration, I would say him.
You want to vote for Immaculate to pass up Thaddeus David and take his spot on the list. 1, 2, 3. 3 to 3, which means it's all up to the fans. Look at my details right here.
That's where it should go, right?
Thaddeus David. Thaddeus David.